Hello, where you been? I know. It's more like, where have I been? Yay, you made it! I've been waiting for you. Hi, my name is Floss. This is the Grape Jelly Library, where we love to talk about books. I am so glad you can join me. I always look forward to your visit. I'm a little winded, a little. I put on a little bit of holiday weight, and I had to go up and down the stairs 3 times in a row, and I am out of shape. So I need to get an exercise regime established back in place because this is not cutting it. Okay, let's talk about what I've been up to, the books I've been reading, the books you've been reading, what you've been up to. Comment below, let me know. All right, so do you remember in a video, maybe one back, if I can find it, I will put it in the description. Okay, that I said I was going to be a little bit more candid with my reviews. I have always been honest with my reviews, always. It's like according to how I feel about the book that I came out of. All right, but I was always a little bit careful not to do any damage. I didn't want to hurt any author's feelings. I know there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into these books, and like it would be just my opinion, and opinions don't matter, and who am I to put down somebody else's creative work? Okay, so that's like, I saw the good in the book despite the bad. I focused on the good, and we went with that. Well, this year, 2025, we're going to try something a little bit different. No holds bar. Whether I have good things or negative things to say about a book, like I said, it's just my opinion, and here's a little bit of a disclaimer. Just because I didn't like a book doesn't mean that you won't. You might absolutely love it. And I would want nothing more for you than to love a book that I didn't, because then it would just give us something to talk about. It would maybe help to persuade me in another direction, or I might be steadfast in my reasoning of why I don't like this book. And, it's a thing. It's a wonderful thing. I think differences, they're wonderful. They're not arguments. They're not fights. They're differences. Okay, so with all of that said, let me tell you about the stinker of a book that I just finished about a week or so ago. First of all, I should say that I have every intention of, making these videos, but I just got a little bit carried away with the things that needed to be done after the holidays, the whole, I don't have to tell you. The taking down of everything, and the budgeting, and the new promises that you're making for yourself, and the agendas that you're setting up, and the plans that you are putting into effect, and all of that kind of stuff. So I've just been busy with that kind of stuff. But I think I've conquered it, aside from my donating of some articles of clothing and sneakers and such. I think I've gotten a good grip on it, so now I can get focused on my book, because I'm going to be honest with you, I was not feeling it. I am a reader, true and true, but I wasn't feeling it. I couldn't, I'm going to say it, it's like a big curse word. I couldn't be bothered with a book. I couldn't, because I was just that busy. But now, I'm cool. Now, I'm so glad that books are there for me when I want them to be there for, because Lord knows they can't count on me to be there for them. All right, so now let's talk about the book that I just read. It's The Gospel of Orla, and it was written by Eoghan, and it looks like this. And I am not going to lie. The cover sold me. The cover of this book sold me. I did not read what the book was about. I frankly didn't care what the book was about. With a cover as interesting as this, sold. Okay, so here's a little fact about me. I absolutely hate to DNF a book. I do. That is just me. It's like handing in a homework assignment that's incomplete. I don't feel very good about that. So when I don't finish a book, I don't feel very good about that. I know that we can't read all of the books and that DNFing a book is healthy. And I am able to DNF a book, but I don't have to like it. There's that little part of me that says, come on, Floss, you're a trooper. You could see this book through. You've read way, way worse. You can do it. But sometimes I just can't. Oddly enough, I don't like this book. I don't. But I'm proud to say that I did complete it. I read it from front to back, despite all its many, many flaws. Okay, what am I talking about here? Well, let me tell you a little bit about this story. We have a father who is raising his two daughters. One is 13 and one is still just, I'll say a toddler in a car seat, but not quite a baby, but yeah, a toddler. Okay, so right out of the gate, Orla is disgruntled, and there is no reasoning with her. Their mother, the girl's mother, passed away, and Orla cannot come to grips with it. She's mad. She is fighting mad. So everyone that crosses her path is her enemy, including her father. All right, so the father, he likes to throw a couple back every single night, and he promises his daughter that he's going to do better, but he just never seems to get there. He seems like he's a good father. No, he doesn't hold down a job, but he does have relief coming in, and he does make sure that the girls have, their breakfast, their lunch, their dinner. He is concerned for their well-being, and he doesn't start his drinking until a certain point in the day so that he could stay focused on the things that need to be done. Getting the girls off to school, or at least Orla, because the little one is, I think she's a little too young for school. So making sure that they have clean clothes, just making sure that they're taken care of, well fed, well taken care of. And then, when the clock strikes that magical hour, that's when his drinking begins. And quite frankly, Orla is tired of it. She is sick of it. Same thing, different day. So she doesn't get along with any of her teachers. She doesn't really get along with any of her schoolmates. She does get along with a schoolmate around her age named Jamie. But the thing is, Jamie is a little bit wayward himself, and he got in trouble with Orla for shooting out a car with a BB gun. And now Jamie's mom kind of blames Orla for that, even though Orla never even took one shot at the car. Accomplice, and she was willing to go along with it, that sort of thing. Okay, so all of that is fine. I am perfectly on board with all of that so far. Until one day Orla decides that she's going to run away. So she packs her bag, she makes sure she has plenty of food, she gets on her bike, and she pedals out of Dodge. She is going to stay with a relative. Problem is, the relative does not know that she's coming, and no one in her immediate family knows that she is leaving. Well, along her travels, we have this kind of vagabond in the bushes, and as Orla pedals past, he reaches out and grabs her, causing her bike to kind of like fall in the stream and for her to tumble. And he grabs her book bag and he opens it up and he displays all her food on the ground, and she is pissed. She's pissed that somebody so bummy, so in need of a bath and in need of a change of clothing would be touching her stuff. She really has no compassion. Well, okay, guess what? Guess who this individual hiding in the bushes happens to be? Okay, you've waited long enough. It happens to be Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Okay, for those of you who believe, it's an entirely different feeling. It's an entirely different view, vibe, judgment placed upon this book. Orla is extremely mean to Jesus. She's a name caller. She is she's using him, absolutely using him. And the way that they portray Jesus in this book, I didn't like it. It was almost as if they were portraying him to be some sort of like wildebeest in the manner that he goes and brings to life these dead creatures, animals, what have you. The way that he brings them back to life, and the way that he the food that he eats, and how he goes about eating it, and in what state his food is in. It's a thing. I'm giving this book a 1. Because no, you know what? I can't even give it a star rating. I don't even know how. I don't even know how it made it. I know I'm being a little quiet. I don't know how it made it that far into public. Really. Read this book. Tell me what you think. Maybe as a Christian I am overreacting. Maybe I'm not. I don't think that I am. I don't like the way that she treated Jesus. I don't like the abandonment. And here's another thing. Every single thing that Orla did basically ended in chaos. Now, there's a little ditty, not the Puff Daddy ditty, the Johnny Cougar Mellencamp ditty, about an elephant, and what she did to the elephant, and I was like, why would you do that? Now I'm hyper-focused on this elephant. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. I need answers. Yeah, read this book. Tell me what you thought about it. Yeah, I would love to have a discussion about it. Until we meet again, know that I love you. Don't let those bad days win. And when you dream, make sure you are dreaming